band. Okay. So let's talk. Who watched the Verzuz yesterday? Who watched it? Oops. Who watched it? Let's be honest. All right, so look, I see you guys talking about Jada body Dipset. He did, but it's not just Jada. It was the combination and the teamwork of the Lox that smoked Dipset. And you want to know what's crazy? Sheik actually has hits. Styles P actually has hits. For the true New York fans that was actually in the building in Madison Square, they would have known if Sheik and Styles played their records. Now, I'm going to tell you how Dipset would have had a chance. First off, Dipset was too focused on the hits. They was like, yo, we got too many hits. And instead of playing some classic Dipset joints, right? Second, half of their team is missing. So those songs that are really fucking fire that represents like Cameron and Jim Jones, with the exception of Joel Santana, right? He did most of his shits on his own. Same thing with Cam, but Jim Jones, his biggest tracks have Max B on it. You understand? So for people to really connect with Dipset, you know, the fam had to be there. The Dipset had to be there. You know what I'm saying? Their choice of tracks to go up against the Lox, terrible. 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 What they should have done is they should have just blew their load, right? On their hits records, right? And then Cam should have revisited some old joints. But then again, some of Cam's best songs got Mace on it. And Mace and him and Mace ain't cool right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the best shit that Dipset had really couldn't be represented well because of the people that they're not cool with no more. So it kind of fucking sucks. Right? It is what it is. Now what's so ill about the Lox is, yeah, you had J Hood on a couple of the tracks, but J Hood didn't define any of those tracks for real. So you're gonna get the Lox no matter what with Styles P, Sheik, and Jadakiss, right? Dipset had missing members to really push that fucking initiative, to really show that love of what Dipset bring up. And I'm actually surprised that Cameron ain't pull up no songs with Big L or with Big Pun or with Nori. You know what I'm saying? He really could have came out with some fucking shit. But they got lazy with it, man. They didn't prepare. You could tell they didn't practice. You know what I mean? No disrespect to Joel's, but obviously he don't sound the same because of what happened with his front teeth. You know? They just wasn't ready, bro. They wasn't ready for that energy. And then what's funny is it's supposed to represent hip-hop, right? And the Lox is literally the definition of hip-hop in New York. So they literally lost as they entered the building, if you really think about it. Now, I thought in terms of a performance, in terms of a show, I'm not going to lie, I thought Dipset was going to hold their weight due to the fact that they clowns and they got some swag with their music. But they all look washed up performing, man. Let's be honest. They're getting too much money. They super comfortable, you know what I'm saying, in the booth. And they look like they haven't toured in a while. So, yeah, man. The Lox won 100-0. It was no contest. And I hear people talking about that Jada did all that shit by himself. First and foremost, Jada is the Lox, man. What you guys don't get, that Jada is the face of the Lox. So when you hear the Lox, you hear Jada. And what's crazy is, again, Sheik and Styles, they have hits. They actually have hits, street hits for New York City specifically. Because I'm seeing there's a lot of Dipset fans out there talking about, oh, yeah, it was Jada, really. That smoke Jada's part is the Lox. The fuck is you talking about? You hear that? That guy, he's the Lox. You can't say Dipset without Cameron. shit was free. Like that shit just goes to show you how deep the catalog is. Bro, they was digging in their mixtapes. Dipset don't want that, bro. You have motherfuckers. Bro, do you really, you really want to go to the mixtape route? That's bad, bro. What they should do, what they should have done was the Lox mixtapes versus the G Unit mixtapes. That's what they should have done on a versus. Or just G Unit versus the Lox, period. They should have just had that, man. Dipset can't hold weight. You got Banks, who could definitely go ball for ball with all three of the Lox. Is he better? I don't want to say, but he's got like. Who did I have going into this? DJ Zayd. When it was announced, the first thing I said was the Lox is going to smoke him. The only thing that literally had me worried about Dipset is they do have some smash hits. Yeah, no. How many people was with me in the chat when they announced versus Lox versus Dipset? Did I not say the Lox was gonna win that shit? Did I not say the Lox was gonna win that shit? Nah, Vil, you gotta understand. Like, besides the hits, right? What are they gonna stretch on their catalog?
Oh, he's so Pringles. Where your curly mustache at?
What makes it bad is, right, that Dipset literally just exposed themselves on the tracks that they missed due to the fact that they don't have certain team members no more. Shit that they had with J.R. Ryder. Shit that they had with Hell Rel. Shit that they had with Max B. They can't even flex those records. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you talk Dipset, sure, you got Cameron, Jim Jones, and Joel Santana, right? I don't know why Freaky Zeke was on stage. No disrespect to Zeke. I know he's the hype guy, but he was killing some of the flow on a lot of that shit. You know what I mean? He really was. You know, and I fuck with Freaky, but there was just certain times that he was talking. I'm like, yo, Freaky, just shut up, man. Let him spit. You know what I mean? Like, you don't got no tracks. The only thing that he got is Hey Ma. He actually sang Hey Ma. That's it. Other than that, don't say nothing else. And that's no disrespect to him. It's just like, yo, let them flow. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, Jada exposed them that they were spitting over they fucking they records, and it wasn't a cappella. With that being said, that was a bad matchup. Jada smoked them. The Lox smoked them. I hope all these new kids realize how godlike the Lox is. You want to know what's so crazy? In the Discord, right? Before that shit even started, it was like 2 hours before, right? I literally was like, yo, if they jump in here, if they start the verses with the fuck you track, I'm going to lose my shit, bro. And I literally posted it in the Discord, the song and everything. Then, Lord behold, 2 hours later, they literally started with that track. He said, Cameron, you live in Miami. Fuck out of here. Hey, yo, check this shit. Yeah, shit, he was bugging. But, yeah, man, no contest. You guys ought to be ashamed of yourselves for thinking that Dipset was going to have a shot. I'm sorry. Y'all should have been a little more educated. Vil, I'm gonna have to hit you in the head with that, bro. That was poor judgment. That was poor judgment. I knew that shit was gonna be bad. I knew it was gonna be bad, but I didn't know it was gonna be that bad. Like, every song they was just playing, I'm like, damn, they are cooking Dipset. Like, it was actually bad. And you know, I got the stupid face, right? I'm just here like bumping my head, and I'm like, all right, what Dipset got? And then I'm looking, and they playing the records, and then they play Ballin', right? They play Ballin' for a second, and then shit just didn't hit the same. Like, we're not in a club, you know what I'm saying? Like, those are like the club bangers and shit. Like, you in a club, you vibing, but you in the center stage, New York, and you got to push the initiative of hip hop. That was not it, though. That was not it, though. Shit was bad. Ballin' only hits in the club, B. You won't catch me rocking that shit casually. All of those songs, let me tell you something. All of those songs that the Lox spit in that verses, I literally have every single one of them songs in my phone. Besides, It's All About the Benjamins. That's the only one I don't have. But I literally have all of those Lox songs. From the mixtapes, all that shit. All that shit. It's just crazy. And then motherfuckers be shitting on my man Sheik like he ain't nice. Bro, there's an album called 354. Go listen to that shit, bro. That shit is fucking fire. I never heard Silverback Gorilla, but 354, that album is crazy. And we don't got to talk about Styles. Gangsta and the Gentleman, that shit is a class. That shit was a body bag. Again, y'all don't be ashamed of yourself. Be honest, besides Vil, man, not to put you on the spot, who's going for Dipset? Who's going for Dipset? Let's see. Rel FGC, I forgive you. ZJ Zayd, I forgive you. I just kind of shocked that y'all thought about that. Y'all really said, man, yo, like y'all really sat there and thought about it. Like, yo, Dipset's gonna cook the Lox. The fuck? They would have had a better chance if they had Max B, if they had J.R. Ryder, if they had Hell Rel, if they had the original fucking Dipset, that some of those records could have been used. If Cam ain't had beef with Mace, we would have had Horse and Carriage. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was a lot of ill records. And he could have rocked some joints with Big L, man. New York was in the building when it came to classics. All the dusty motherfuckers was outside, bro. All those motherfuckers was outside. So it's like you couldn't be ashamed to hold out on an old ass record. Everybody knew what the fuck was getting played in there. You know what I'm saying? Even in the chat, even in the Instagram chat, all those motherfuckers knew those records. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Mr. JT, you know who's good grimy Dipset? When they had J.R. Ryder, Hell Rel, 40 Cal, Max B. And them motherfuckers is not in the squad no more. You want to know what's even worse about that? All those dudes was in the crowd. They was with ASAP Ferg. Hell Rel was there, J.R. Ryder, 40 Cal, all looking washed. And I'm like, damn, not washed in a bad way, but it's like, damn, you got Dipset on the stage. Meanwhile, you got half of the former Dipset guys not on the stage. And freaking, they got some of the most banging records with the Dipset. And they just there, they got to watch this shit. I wonder if they won the Versus to see if they was actually going to play those records. But anyway, on a side note, that DJ technician shit, that dude, he kind of fucked up on the scratches. Did y'all notice he played the Tupac hit 'em up shit? Did y'all notice who was watching that shit from the beginning? He played like the beginning part of Hit 'em Up, and I was actually shocked. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Who's watching that shit from the beginning? Yo, I was like, you know how you just listen to total music in the background? I'm just looking at the computer and shit, woo woo, and I just hit 'em up. So what the fuck? I wonder if he just had it in rotation and he just fucked up. It was literally at the beginning, like almost at the beginning of the show, when it was like closer to where it was gonna start. What up, Sean? I see you, man. Yo, G2PO, thank you for the sub. Batu, thank you for the sub. Also, I didn't want to lose my train of thought, but thank you guys for the resubs. Much love. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, I watched everything. I actually lost sleep. So let me tell you exactly what happened yesterday. So I watched that, right? And I immediately went to Guilty Gear. And I was just rocking all of the freaking D-Block classics. I just went in. I was like, yo, let me just rock some shit that I thought Jada was going to play. It's ridiculous, man. Yo, so all I'm saying is this. If we're going to go the hip-hop route and really represent the mixtape era, I would say do a versus with the Lox versus G-Unit, but it has to be the mixtape era. Fuck the singles. I mean, we could rock the singles, but I feel like they already played it out due to the Lox versus Dipset. And they had way more tracks, too. They just didn't use it. But on the mixtape shit, fucking D-Block versus G-Unit. Bro, they started it with fuck you, bro. Do you understand? They started that shit with, yo, I lost my shit. I literally lost my shit when they started playing that song. I was screaming like a little girl. Y'all know how I be getting hype. But yeah, Ruben, they lost because they ain't had Max B, bro. I'm sorry. Some of the most fire Jimmy records. He can't bump. That's crazy, bro. No, they was gonna lose, sure, but I mean, like, at least put up a fight, man. Motherfuckers was holding all they dynamite shit in the bag because they got beef with motherfuckers. Like, that shit is crazy. I can't believe Cam couldn't spit horse and carriage. And mind you, that's not even one of my favorite songs, but it's a hit. That shit was free, man. You know what made it even more gritty? Like, you see these dudes coming in all pretty looking and shit. And that's a Dipset fashion. You know, we ain't gonna knock that. But then you got motherfuckers that look like they just bought shit from Jimmy Jazz. And then Jadakiss is the only one fucking with chains and shit on. But it wasn't even that OD. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers came to spit, bro. These motherfuckers came for a show and shit. Nah, they came to really rip people's heads off, son. Pause. You know what, though? Look, big shout outs to the Dipset, man. I'm still one of their favorites. Yo, when they played another situation, right, that I was like, damn, like, you could really tell, like, they can't really hold their weight. So, for example, they, whatchamacallit, they was playing Purple City Bird Gang, and you can't even hear Dawn Bishop Aguilar or Shice Bub. All you heard was the hook. Like, you couldn't even get jiggy with this shit. Like, really think about it. When you look back and some of the records that they was missing and playing, they didn't go all the way through because they just have issues with certain people. She was terrible, man. What a bad matchup. That's like Guile versus Bison. Street Fighter 4. Super Street Fighter 4. That shit was a 8-2 matchup, bro. Shit was free, man. I want to know how much they got paid, son. All right, so you look, would that be